Okay, I'll make sure that people can hear me okay. Let me know if you can hear me if you are watching. I want to make sure that's all good. This is a new webcam and a new microphone thing, so yeah, do let me know if you can hear me okay. This is my first Q&A live stream in a long time. So I will need to know if you can hear me okay. Let me just put the 1 second. All right, can you guys hear me okay? No one's saying anything, which I don't know if that makes me a little bit worried or not. Maybe it's super quiet. Can you give me a little comment? Can you hear me? This is turning out to be a disaster if it doesn't work. Maybe I can log onto it on my phone and just see if I can hear it. Let's have a look here. Oh, stupid YouTube adverts. Yeah. Oh, it can hear me. Okay, so it's just really quiet. Yeah, all good. Awesome. All right, everyone. This is the first Q&A live stream. Let's get this camera a little bit further down. That's probably a little bit better, right? Oh, no, it's sliding back up. Oh, well, that's fine, I guess. How is everyone? Do say hi. There is a handful of people chatting to me on Discord about the live stream, which is nice. I just thought I'd pop on here and have a chin wag today and just kind of touch base with you guys for about an hour or so and answer some questions, maybe about the future of the channel and a few other bits and bobs. I am wearing a hat because I have really bad hair right now, which sucks. So yeah, if you have got any questions, do throw them in the live chat. Let me go over to. I always get questions on Discord and Instagram. So just give me a second. For those who are not aware, let me just go over what the channel is changing to and how it's like adapting from what it used to be. So I'm not super fit like I used to be in the last videos. Obviously, I'm going to try and get back up there again. Things changed. I had a child and life got in the way, which happens, which is not a bad thing. I really enjoy having a bit of a slower life right now and super busy life. But it means I'm not doing the whole getting fit for the Royal Marine videos anymore. There's going to be a lot more chill videos, chats like this, informational videos, reactions. I like doing the live reaction things. Oh, not live reactions, but just reaction things. I think they're really useful. Talking to a handful of people who want to do like live streams with me, which will be cool. I was watching one yesterday of a fellow former Royal Marine who wants to have a live chat with me, and I'm excited for that. I'm also contacting a few other people to do it. So yeah, there's a few different things that I'm going to try out with the new start to the channel. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let me look at some of these questions that I get. Let's have a look. Okay. What do I think about joining at 16-year-old? Okay, so this one's such a complicated one because there's a lot of people who want to join at 16, just like, like me when I joined when I was 16. How's it going, Alan? How's it going, Lewis? I don't know if you know the answer. Okay, I'll get back to that one. Let me just answer this real quick. So a lot of people want to join at 16, and well, that's all well and good. It's dangerous because you don't really know who you are yet. You don't really know what you want to do. You don't really know anything about yourself at 16. You're not really an adult. And even though I was adamant on what I wanted to do, I don't think my mindset was there. I was immature. yeah, it's just not. I feel like it's not really the best decision. You're still developing as a human. Your brain's still developing. So, although, some people do join at 16 and end up being like a lifelong Royal Marine, and that's amazing. They do some amazing things. Um, but in my case, and I've seen quite a few people, when they join at 16, they get through training, which is all well and good. When they get to a commando unit, they just don't, it just doesn't work out as well as a lot of people want it to, which is understandable. If you're so young, you're just not in that right mindset. But I'm actually thinking about doing a whole video on that, joining under the age of 18. So stay tuned for that one. Let's have a look at some of these comments. So Lewis Freeman says, "Hey mate, I don't know if you know the answer or anything about it, but I'm going through an application, got a hernia and need surgery. How long you reckon it'll set me back?" So I don't know much about joining when you had like pre-medical conditions. But what I do know is if you have had an injury, your most important thing is making sure that you're fit enough to do the tests again, and making sure that you're kind of like you're not prone to injuring yourself again. So making sure that you've gone through rehab well enough and making sure that you're fit enough again. For a hernia, that could take, I don't know, it could take a long while, depending on the severity of the injury. So just make sure that you take your time. There's no need to rush at all. Just take your time and yeah, and make sure you're fully healed first. Dan says hi. Hi Dan, how's it going? Septic Goat says, if I want to join the army, then move to the Royal Marines, would I have to get a discharge, or could I transfer to the Navy from the army and do the training? I'm not really sure how that works. However, yeah, I'm not really sure how that works. There was the handful full of people in my troop that were from the army, a few from the RAF, a few from the Navy. I don't know whether you just transfer over. I think you probably do, because if you're in the military at that point, I'm sure there's an easier way to go about it. I don't think you have to leave, and then I'm pretty sure you can just get a transfer. But don't quote me on that. You'd have to ask your careers office and just basically tell them like your outline, like I want to join the army first, and then take my time and then join the Royal Marines. So speak to them. Who was your best corporal during recruit training? I'd rather not name names because some people are still in the military, some people are not, and even though I'm friends with some of them, I don't want to put them out on the internet, keeping them private and stuff. But there's with training teams, there's always like this full spectrum of crazy hard people that hammer you, and then the more lenient, fun people, and it's nice that they have that balance. So yeah, there's always like pros and cons to having like the hard nuts that kind of like the nutters that just like really nail things down to you, because they make you better physically fit and they drill it into you. Whereas as the more lenient, casual, chill corporals, you can have a laugh with, and you can have more of an understanding of um, you know what being a commando unit might be like, for instance. Septigo says, just looking at my opinions because I know I could do the army basic, but not sure if I could do complete RM basic right now. Yeah, you never know. You might end up joining the army and enjoying that and staying in the army. So I wouldn't worry too yet. Just take one step at a time. Yeah, don't rush anything. Zach Bell, how often do you go on those long runs in the rain before training? I'm guessing you're referencing one of my old videos where I talk about running a lot in the rain and stuff. How often do you go on those long runs in the rain? Honestly, what would happen is I would schedule a run. I would like plan a run that day, whether it's around my lake or whether it's going to my grandparents down the canal or whatever it is. And I basically would do it no matter what. If it's raining, fine. If it's, whatever, I would always just do it. And I think in the rain, like I think it's kind of fun. Like going for a run in the rain is kind of fun. Like not only if you run really fast, it's like Star Wars, right? Going at hyperspeed in the rain. Now, I think it just gives you that mindset of like, it doesn't matter what the situation is, you're gonna do it anyway. So, don't concentrate too much on the weather and stuff like that. Concentrate on you are doing it no matter what, you know. Um, Frustration 34. I don't know how to say that name, mate. Hey, mate. I have my PRMC in 2 weeks. I reckon I'm fit enough, but what can I do to improve cardio in 2 weeks if it's possible? Okay, you're 2 weeks away from PRMC right now. You need to do very light exercises and let your body recover so that when you go into PRMC, you are fully fit. Like the last thing you want to be doing is going on a bunch of runs right now and going with your legs aching a little bit, you know. So maybe this week, kind of just take your time, go for a few slower jogs. Next week, just rest a bunch and do very minimal exercises. At this point, if you're fit enough, you're going to do it. If you're not fit enough, you're not going to do it. 2 weeks is not going to change that. So just take your time, do a lot of recovery, a lot of nice, maybe like ice baths, stretch a lot, you know, relax, and kind of just do a bit of TLC on your body before going down there. Jack Barlow says, how many pull-ups, push-ups, and sit-ups should I be doing before I apply? So you should look at the tests: 60 press-ups in 2 minutes, 80 press-ups in 2 minutes, and I think it's like 7 straight pull-ups. They're the tests that you're gonna have at PRMC. So be able to do them before you go down. That's like a no-brainer. Like if you can do that when you go down, you know you're gonna get through it. Lewis Freeman, cheers for the advice. What are your thoughts on SF World? Do you ever want to get? There's always that thing where you're like, oh, I kind of want to go SF. I think when you get to a commando unit or when you pass out a training, your mindset changes. And some people are like, I want to go further, I want to go further, I want to go mountain leader, I want to go SF. And then some people who did aspire like me to do something, go all the way up there, I ended up being like, I'm okay with this. Like you kind of get to a unit and you're like, I've done something amazing already. Like I don't know, like this different kind of mindsets that you'll go through when you pass out of training. So you know, for my advice, it's cool to look at right now, but you've got to take one step at a time. You got to, you got to get your green lid. You got to pass your PRMC, then you got to get green lid, and then you got to get to a commando unit. So, like one step at a time before you even think about anything like that. Amethys Viking says, "What's your opinion on other ranks versus officers? Do officers stop going out on patrols, etc., after a couple of years? Also, do other ranks get many chances to lead? Thanks." So, in the Royal Marines, you're always training to be 2 ranks ahead of what you are. So, they always kind of want to prepare for the worst. So, if you're a Marine, you train to be a Marine, a Lance Corporal, and a Corporal. If you're a corporal, you train 2 ranks above you. That's what you do. So there's always that opportunity. You're always learning to lead and stuff like that. They're always out on patrol with you. There's always an officer out on patrol with you. There's always a sergeant out on patrol with you. Even WO2 will come out. When we were prepping, doing pre-deployment training, he was training on a quad bike and was just like would like go up to the troops on a quad bike and stuff. Obviously, I never went out to Herrick 14, so I don't know whether he used that, but that's what they were prepping to do. Let's have a look. Matt Hardy, during training, how often were you able to go home? You go home after there's 3 weeks, and then you have like a family weekend, and you can go home then. Training might have changed. It was in 2008 when I was in training. This is 12 years ago, which makes me feel old to say. The way it kind of worked for me was you would have that weekend. There was a weekend, I think, like week 9. And then after that, you don't have anything until the second half of training. And then you get the odd weekend off every now and again. You definitely get like a day off every now and again. On the weekend, you can go down into Exeter and get some good food. Some people get a massage, and relax and do some TLC to yourself and kind of chill, have a couple pints and relax. But when it comes to going home, you do get a few chances. Yeah. Let's have a look here. Septic Goat, thanks for answering my question, mate. And I have another one. If I could do PRMC and just pass, would I be able to pass the 32 weeks training? What's the likelihood of me passing? So a lot of people pass PRMC and then don't pass training. A lot of people. I think what comes into play is it's definitely way more intense. We know that, obviously, right? The admin side, you don't really do much admin in PRMC, but the admin side's pretty hard as well, and it can mess with people because if you keep fucking up, the training team are going to hammer you. And then it's a marathon. PRMC is a bit of a sprint. 3 days, you work hard, you're done. This is 32 weeks. This is a marathon you're doing, right? You've got to make sure you don't get injured. You got to, make sure you're bonding with the lads. There's a lot of things that come into play, and that's why a lot of people fail. How good was 4-5? 4-5 was an amazing place. It really was. And yeah. So I had some of the best times ever there. I had some of the worst times ever. So yeah, 4-5's a very unique and incredible place. Jack Lane, hi bud. You got any tips for PMC bottom field? Just get your head down and just do what they say. Like they used to do. I don't know if they still do it. They did a determination test on PMC, and just think of it as just like just getting your head down and just working. 1 second. Yeah, you just got to get your head down and you just got to get working. You can't be like, oh, I don't want to do this. You've got to be enjoying it when they're having you on the bottom field. It's hard. It's going to be hard. At the end of the day, though, you can only get so tired. Like your legs can only ache to the point of where you're struggling to walk, and you just got to keep going. It's going to end at some point. It's not going to last forever. So yeah, just get stuck in, enjoy the moment. Just think it's not going to last forever. It's a PRMC. Do you know what I mean? Like, and just think it's a little bit of a taste of what's to come into trading. And enjoy it. Just enjoy it. That's what I say. Let's have a look here. How's it going, Ryan? Anderson Course says, after the Royal Military, did you get a chance to conceal carry in England? No, we don't have weapons in England. We don't have guns in England. That's not something that we really do. No one has weapons. I mean, I think some farmers have rifles, but the restrictions are so high. I'm not one for guns. It's not my cup of tea. I don't know. Like that's my opinion though. I watched an airsoft video. I did a reaction to that. It's pretty cool. They look like actual weapons. Someone was telling me on the Discord that you have to have a license, so the police are not like, have you got this rifle in the back of your car? Because they're very rare, and it's illegal to have handguns in England and stuff. So concealed carry and stuff like that's not really a thing. Although in the US, I have had a chance to shoot a few weapons over here when I first came over to the country. But it's just not my cup of tea. I just don't really like. I prefer to sit and chill and read a book. Things change when you get older. Things change. Things slow down. Can you be an Instagram influencer based on the Royal Marines as an active member? I start training on February 10th. I have no idea. At the end of the day, they have like rules to stick by. Like you don't talk about certain things. You don't talk about other royals. You don't brag. You don't like talk about operations. There's a lot of things that you don't want to put your location out there. At the end of the day, you're a high profile military member. You don't want to put your location out there where you are right now. What Can you guys hear me? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Look at that. Where was I? I don't even know. What point was I at when it got cut off? I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Conceal carry. If some, where did I get up to? Where did I get up to? I was probably chatting for ages then, and it just like I need to get better at this, guys. This is why I'm doing this. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get better. All right, let's just pick up from roughly where I. So it's someone said Instagram influence. That's why I was like, yeah, speak to the train team. I'm not too sure on what they'll say about that. There is rules, so there's rules not to say where you are. You're a high profile military member, so speak to your training team, but they'll probably just tell you, yeah, don't do that. They'll probably laugh at you, to be honest with you, because there's not something that a lot of the older members of the training team care about is social media and stuff like that. You'll find that you'll come slowly off social media. What's my opinion on the RAF Reg? RAF Reg are awesome. I had a few friends who were in the RAF Reg. They might not be as like elite as the Royal Marines, but they're still soldiers and they can still do what they do, and I respect them for that. And there's a lot of banter between different service members, but at the end of the day, you're all doing similar things, and you're all fighting the same fight. Where are we? Let's have a look here. You should do a podcast with Chris Thrall. Yep, Chris Thrall. I messaged him. Well, he messaged me asking if we want to do one. We're gonna try and get that done at some point, and yeah, we'll stay tuned for that one. He seems like a cool guy. But yeah, we're gonna do something. Can you share your morning routine? Do you try to keep it under a certain time limit? Share my morning routine now, because it's not like what it used to be. Wake up, change the baby's nappy, hate myself for a little bit because I gotta get up and do maybe work or homework or something. Put down breakfast in my mouth as quick as I can. No, back when I was getting fit, it was usually the same type of thing. I was getting fit when I was in school, so it would either be, if on a day off, it would be wake up, have breakfast, go for a run, or go run to the gym. There was nothing special. There's no special sauce when it comes to a morning routine, Yeah, don't worry about stuff like that. Just form nice habits that aid you in your workout. As of right now, like I said, my health is taking a step back because I've got to look after a baby. Although I am getting fit and doing what I need to do right now to get back up there again, it's taking way longer than it used to. So morning routines for me include changing nappies, trying to stop the baby from crying, and then maybe putting him back down for another nap. How long should you be aiming to train for before you sign up? If I sign up for the Marines, I want to be aiming for 1 year plus. It depends. It really depends. You want to make sure you can pass the criteria. If you're fit enough to do exactly what they say prior to joining up, you're fit enough to give it a go. Whether that takes 3 years, 2 years, or 1, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you can do them tests. Let's have a look here. There's a lot of comments trying to get down these. Surprisingly, it's fairly easy to get a shotgun in this country because I live in rural. I have a bit of land and the police don't mind. Yeah, there's certain rules for certain things, but like handguns and stuff are illegal. So, but yeah, there is certain rules for a few things. Liam says, I was thinking about joining the Armed Reserves. Would you recommend it? Yeah, if it fits your lifestyle and the reserves are what you want to do, then that's all well and good. Do it. Just again, make sure you're in the right state of frame of mind. All right, lots of no sound. That was from earlier. We've still got sound now, which is good. Sorry about that, everyone. Septic Goat. Septic Goat says, and I was the one who said you need a license. And yeah, you messaged me, didn't you? Yeah. So I don't know what the airsoft sounds cool. I don't know if I've got the time for it. I'd love to try it one day, but I don't think I got the time for it. An ex-marine would rather read a book than fire a gun. Yeah, I'd like to chill, read a book, watch some movies. Like things change, guys. Things change. I'd rather chat to you guys. All right, let's have a look here. Share with you my morning routine. Yep. Changing nappies, wiping baby ass. Glasgow Blues, I'm PMU. And my surgery failed last week on my knee, as they couldn't locate the problem. Gutted. Will be months upon months until I get another chance at surgery. Then a year if I want it to work. So take your time, man. At the end of the day, your health is the most important thing, you know. And at the end of the day, when the careers office says we don't think you're medically fit enough for the Royal Marines, they're doing that for a reason. They're doing that for your own good. Like, if you've had something that's stopping you from going in, like, you're gonna get hurt going in, and that's why they do it. You know, either that or you're gonna be a liability, and that's why they want to do it. Don't take it as something that's bad. Take it as them being like, look, we want what's best for you. Don't be like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this. You can still do whatever you want to do for the country. You can still raise money for charity for the countries, you know, for help the heroes and all that. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to sign that dotted line, and what's best for your health is most important. Let's have a look here. Septic Goat, how heavy were you when you decided to work out, and how did your progress look from when you start the Royal Marine Basic? So I was quite a chubby kid. Yeah, I'm trying to think how heavy I was. I was young as well. I was like 14, 15 when I started training. I'd have to ask my mum and dad of how big I was, but I was a little chunky kid, and I decided to get fit. But again, I was in school, so it took a couple of years for me to train and get up there. Yeah, I'm not really sure how big I was, but I was unfit. I was very unfit. It took time, you know, one step at a time, and I got fit enough, you know. Let's have a look. Facebook group has gone strange, full of young kids and people who want to join other branches. Yeah, I deleted Facebook. That group got out of hand, and then shortly after, I was just like, I'm done with Facebook. It's just full of negativity, and you know, it's just, I don't know. Social media is one of them things where it just brings you down all the time, and it's just full of crap, you know, and people shouting their opinion, and you're just like, done with that crap. So I just deleted Facebook, which is a shame because there is some people on there that I would have loved to keep chatting to, but at the end of the day, like, it's just not worth it. Let's have a look here. Squidgy Sailor says, are the fitness standard Are the fitness standards where we can find and adhere to? Where are the fitness standards? I think you're going to ask. I think you're asking for. They're on the website. Go to the Roman website. They're on there. The fitness standards. I think they also give you a little fitness workout plan to get you up there as well. But take that with a grain of salt. Fitness standards is pre-joining fitness test and PRMC test. Yeah, exactly. If you can pass them, you're going to be, you know, at the end of the day, if you can pass them, you're fit enough to go into training. That's the whole point of them. It's just whether your mindset's there at that point. Passing out the proudest moment of your life. Not passing out, finishing the 30 miler was one of the proudest moments of my life. Not the proudest moment, but one of. Yeah, you run over that humpback bridge, and I remember going over, and at this point I was just exhausted and it didn't really kick in. And then the next batch of lads came over, and my mate was in that, and his bottom lip was starting to wobble, and then I started, well, I was like, I'm crying. And I got my green beret, and I was on the bus back to Limpston, and I remember calling my mum and dad and just being like, I'm a commando, I did it. And they were crying, and I started crying, and yeah, you know, it happens. It's a good thing, you know. People are like, oh, you shouldn't cry, you're supposed to be a Royal Marine. It's whatever. It's an emotional moment when you've gone through all that to finally get that green light, guys. If you get to do it, you will find out, because it is very special. One of the most amazing experiences ever. I'm naturally fit, but not naturally built. The pull-up test is the largest hurdle in my way. Yeah, I was the same. I was small. I was not very good at upper body strength. I could run. I wasn't very good at upper body strength. Just, you know, keep trying. Do pull-ups every morning, every night before bed, and you'll get better at it. Did you cry? I feel like I would if I passed out. Yeah, but I feel like most of the emotions come after the 30 miler, because at the end of the day, you have a week. You pass the 30 mile and you have a week of prep for the pass out parade, and where you kind of going through the motion, figuring out what unit you're going to go to. You have a whole week where you're still in training. So you're kind of ready for the pass out parade, and then when it happens, the most emotional part is when it says when you're in parade and they say Royal Marine to your duties, because it's the first time you get told you're a Royal Marine. That part's an emotional part, but if I remember correctly, like you're just ready to be done with the parade. Like you're trying to enjoy the moment, but there's only so much you could do. Like you're a Royal Marine when you get that green lid, you know. So I finishing a 30 miler is the most special part. Septic Goat again says, what time are we on here? 30 minutes? Okay. Septic Goat says, I feel like the endurance course would be harder for me compared to the 30 miler. I can tab, just can't run far. I'm more of an interval guy rather than endurance runner. Yeah, so I still say to this day, the hardest commando test was the Tarzan Assault course. It's short. The obstacles aren't that hard, but it is a blowout. Like you are sprinting from start to finish. And I tell you what, it is hard. I passed it with I think it was like 2 seconds I passed it by. So yeah, I remember climbing up that 30-foot wall and the corporal up top who, I knew pretty well actually because he was from the same place I was from. He was like, Jillings, you've got 5 seconds. And I was halfway up the wall and I'm just going. And I get to the top and he goes, you failed by a second. And I was like, oh. And he was like, no, I'm joking. You passed by a second. I was like, oh my God, heart palpitations. And you're just dying by the time you get up. The 30 mile, you're just taking your time. You don't really remember much of it because you're taking painkillers and you're just kind of zoned out, Wedge Montabe says, be honest, mate, how much attention did you get from your mates back home after you passed out? So we had a little party. It was all well and good. After I finished training, there was like that moment of, you've done it, it's amazing, cool. But I started going through a lot of psychological problems. And I've only started to realize that as I've got older, when looking back and being like, what was actually happening there? And what would happen is it seems like your friends at home aren't the same as what, that bond isn't the same anymore because you've gone through it with someone else. So you go home and you feel kind of disconnected a little bit. So there's a lot of weird stuff that happens, and that might have just been my experience being young, and you go straight from school into the Royal Marines. So even though you are still friends with them, it's as if there's something that's kind of just like you can't like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's different about you guys, and it's strange. It's a strange time, and I'm going to do a video on that again about joining at 16. So stay tuned for that. It's kind of strange, but it's also nice. It's nice to be proud and be like, I'm a Royal Marine. I did it. I had a teacher at school that was like, you're not going to pass it, and I've said this on videos in the past. I know that she reads the papers in the morning. Sure enough, I was on the front page, Royal Marine green lid. I know she would have got that on her desk, and that gives me the utmost satisfaction, wiping that smug grin off her face. So yeah, that's good. Mo says it's 3 to 4 months of strength training and then 8 months of endurance training. Suitable plan before joining. It depends. Again, priority is making sure you're fit enough to do the tests that are required. That's the priority. If you can do that, it doesn't matter how long it takes you. Do you ever regret going in so young? There's things I don't regret doing it. I regret no, I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all, to be honest with you. I think it's just I went through a bad experience on the latter part, on the end part of being in the Royal Marines, where things just went upside down for me. And I don't think personally that was my fault, so I don't regret it because it was kind of just what was handed to me, like the cards I were dealt with. So no, I don't regret it. I do think, however, that I wish I was more mature. I feel like if I waited, I probably wouldn't have done it. I feel like if I waited a couple of years and then joined, I probably wouldn't have done it. So I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that one. I definitely don't regret it. Yeah, regretting it is something that I don't do. Yeah, but there is parts that were kind of off, that were kind of not right, if that makes sense. How fit do you have to be before a PRMC? You have to do your pre-joining fitness test, which is a mile and a half for 12 minutes on a treadmill, and then another mile and a half in under 10 minutes. You have to do 60 press-ups, 2 minutes, 80 sit-ups, 2 minutes, and then I think it's like 6 or 7 straight pull-ups. If you can do that, you're fit enough. Who do you think will win? Will I think you mean win? Conor McGregor or Cerrone? The Cowboy's good. He's real good, but I'm a McGregor fan, and although he's a bit of a douchebag, he's the epitome of what a fighter is, which is cocky, in it. So I want McGregor to win. I like him. I think his mindset's changed a lot recently. He's gone from this very arrogant to kind of chill. I watched an interview with him, and it was completely different. A lot of respect for the Cowboy. So like I'd be happy if he wins. I don't know whether I'll watch it or not. It might be a bit late. Can you imagine your life now if you didn't have military experience at all? I would not be the person I am today without it. I would be completely different. So I couldn't imagine where I'd be. My only thought was be able to have gone to school. I'd probably have a job. I don't know. I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be in England. I probably wouldn't have met Steph, my wife. So I'm thankful for all that. What are the unit initiations like? Heard some horror stories. Yeah, they're pretty rough, but I won't get into that. Is doing 1.5 mile run in 12:30 and 60-second break, then another 1.5 mile run in 10:30 or below really fit enough to pass the 32 weeks of training, or should you be aiming for endurance running as well? Do a little bit of endurance running. I'm sorry. So if you can hear a baby in the background crying, I apologize. I think he's a little sad and maybe hungry. Yeah, so at the end of the day, they're the fitness standards. So they think if you're fit enough to do that, you're fit enough to get into training, right? However, there is a lot of other things that come into play, and they build you up to it. You just need to be able to do it better than that. You don't want to get it on the dot. Do better than that, and you should be fine. If you go for a long run at a steady pace, you're going to improve your shorter runs. I found that in the past where if I go and do a 10-mile run, my mile and a half is way better because psychologically, like, it's only a mile and a half. I've just done 10 miles the other day. So you get better at your short runs if you do your longer runs as well. So bear that in mind. SBS or SAS, they're both amazing. I had more friends that went in the SBS, but they're amazing. Can't hear the baby. Okay, cool. Why did you become Marine? Did you get turned away from the paras? No, I didn't apply for the paras. My first choice was the Royal Marines. And I chose. My dad was in the Navy, and I was at Sea Cadets at the time, which were joint with like the Royal Marine Cadets, the Marine Cadets, and I think seeing them, I don't know, there was something that just clicked, and I started getting the brochures and be like, this is really cool. I don't know whether I'll be able to do it, but I'm going to try and get fit, and it just worked out. How much do you take home a month I mean, it changes. So it's probably gone up since I was in, but it's not a bunch. Don't expect to be on rock star wages if you're going in the Royal Marines. I can hit a target from my running. I can hit the target for my running before 32 weeks training. Is there any tests I will have to compete? I don't know what year. Is there any more tests I will have to complete? No, as long as you can do them press ups, pull ups, sit ups, and your head's in the right spot. You're gonna do determination tests and stuff like that, but again, just get your head down and do it. It's not a big deal. Just keep working hard. If a bootneck goes into the SAS, do they spend their career in the army? I don't really know how that works, if I'm honest with you. They're their own branch, their own separate identity. So yeah, I don't really know. What's your opinion on David Goggins? The guy's a beast. He is a beast. He's got a lot of good ideas, although. So I like what he does. I like his way of developing your mindset, but I also think you've got to be careful because he pushes himself beyond what's imaginable. And for the most part, your body can do that, but you are susceptible to more injuries. So, if you're going to follow stuff what he says, make sure you're fit enough to do what he says before you attempt it and get yourself hurt. All right. Let's have a look. Did many lads you went through training go into special forces? I actually don't know the number. There's a few here and there, I think. But you also don't really know if they if they go to selection. You don't really know if they get into selection or not. So I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. Let's have a look. How fast do you have to run per mile for the endurance course? I think on the PRMC, because I think you do the endurance course on the PRMC. It's not very fast, I don't think. But I'm not really sure. I think you just do it as like a. I think they just make you go through the motions. I think. I don't think. I don't really know if there's a time to it. To be honest with you. How do commandos get on with band members? Well, you don't really like. You don't really come across them. I never really came across them all that much. You know, you see them, but they're doing their own thing. Like, and you know, they go through their own training. They don't go through Royal Marine training, but they go through their own training. I have a lot of respect for them. They're amazing on drums. They really are incredible on drums. So yeah, hats off to them. They're amazing. But yeah, I didn't really bump into them all that much, if I'm honest with you. How many tours did you do? I just did Op Cougar, which was like a anti-piracy thing. I did a video on that about. I'm pretty sure I did a video on that where I did the 6 months of Op Herrick pre-deployment training, and about 3 weeks before we were deploying, they were like, everyone who can't drive are getting replaced by RMR, and I was absolutely gutted. And then when you're on camp, you're basically battle casualty replacements, BCR, and at that point there was so many of us. I was just like, I'll do anything, and they were asking for people to do Op Cougar, and I was just like, you know what, yeah, I'll do it. So yeah. Let's have a look. Have you ever been late like 5 minutes to anything in your career? I've been late once or twice, but like maybe like at the start of training, and then I got hammered, and then no. Usually, like, it's funny. Steph, my wife, always laughs at me because like if I have something planned, I have to be there like 10 to 15 minutes before. I have to make sure everything's sorted. Like, I hate being late. It gives me the worst anxiety being late. Worst anxiety imaginable. What commando unit were you in? I was at 4-5 for a little bit, and I was at 40 as BCR for a little bit as well. But I wasn't really in the unit. I was just BCR for them. Did get sent out, so it was like, yeah. Did you ever consider SF selection? Everyone considers it, but no one, like, not many people. It's such a weird thing where it's kind of like, it's very, I wouldn't say secretive, but they don't really tell you much about it. And so even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you much about it because, like, respect to them, and I don't want, like, you don't want too much information being out there. So, like, there's certain things that you shouldn't really talk about, and I think that's one of them. So yeah. All right, so I've got through the questions that are on right now. I'm sure more will pop up. I just wanted to throw out there, we're about 45 minutes, got 15 minutes left. I'm going to be doing more videos in the near future. My plan is to do a handful of like reaction videos. I'm thinking of doing reaction videos, like if there's a new war film coming out or something like that, do reactions to them, or maybe like trailers for like military games and stuff. Anyway, if you want to suggest a video to me, join the Discord group. We've got an awesome bunch of lads on there. And they're brilliant, and we chat all the time. I'm on there every day chatting to them. So if you want to chat to me in person, get on Discord and join the group. I'll put a link down below in this video, but if you go into my other videos, there is links on there. Another shout out to I think his name's Kai. He did the thumbnail to this video with like 5 minutes before I was said to him that I'm going to do it. The thumbnail's awesome. He's also designed a new logo and a bunch of other stuff. Just a shout out to that guy, because honestly, check the thumbnail out when you get a chance, because it's so cool. I've been doing the thumbnails for my videos so far, and I'm okay. I'm getting better, but this thumbnail he's done's brilliant, and he's got a new logo that I'm going to use, which I really, really like. Which you'll see very shortly. So yeah, just shout out to that guy. You're doing some good work there. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Did you get many older lads, late 20s, join the Marines? Yep, there was quite a few of them. Yeah, I would say so. 1 second. Chat keeps jumping. Do you have lots of Royal Marine hoodies? Is that your uniform for YouTube? Yeah, I mean, I wear this all the time. It's like my favorite hoodie. It's super comfortable. I had another green Royal Marine hoodie before this, like a Global Laurels, kind of cool. It has like, cool birthday. I don't think it's got anything else in it. It's really cool. I like this hoodie. Shout out to me mum who bought it for me. My mum and dad. Thank you, mum and dad. They sent it to me randomly. Let's see a picture of that. And cameras keep slipping a little bit. But it's a really cool hoodie. I like it. There's also like I have a couple of like polo shirts. This camera sliding off again. I have a couple of polo shirts that like I use for work and stuff. So yeah, it's not like a what I wear for this YouTube channel, but I wear it just because it's primarily videos about the military, aren't they? What's the Discord code? I used to be in it, then I got a new account. Let me put it in the comments. Let me get the invite people. Let's make it a permanent link. Generate link, copy. Okay, I'm gonna pop it in here. That's the link right there, guys. I'll also put it in the description down below. Join the Discord. There's some incredible people on there, and we're really having fun chatting to each other. And I'll see anyone who joins right now as well. I'll give you a little shout out. Let's have a look. Septic says the Royal Marines look to still be part of your life. Why did you leave? And do you ever wish that you didn't? No, I'm happy that I left. I did my time. It's a big part of your life. It'll always be a big part of your life. But I was ready to leave and I was ready to move on. William has just joined. Toby just joined the Discord. Welcome, guys. What's the best part of your Royal Marine life? The people. You meet some incredible people and go to some incredible places. Let's have a look. Wedge says, mate at Exeter Uni says the recruits have quite a reputation on nights out in Exeter. Is this true? Yeah, I don't think it helps because some of the locals, there's a lot of clash between the locals and the recruits, so I don't think it helps. Plus, if you think about it, you also get like some of the fresh recruits that might get an early night out and they think there's something because they've just joined and they give the rest of the recruits a bad rep. But from what it probably seems is the lads in the later later end of training, they're more like standoffish and they're taking role as a Royal Marine at that point, and they're trying to keep a good reputation. They understand the training team always say, don't fight, set a good example, but when you're early in training, you always get them one or two idiots that just do that. MSR just joined, Spunky just joined, Jackie and just joined the Discord. Welcome everyone to it. Let's have a look here. Thanks for answering my question. Yeah, no worries, Mo. Anytime. In the Royal Marines, do you run more than anything else? You yomp more than anything else, I would say. And speed march. Speed march is probably like the thing. And then you've got bomb field and all that jazz, the usual stuff. What would you say the hardest part of your training? I just uploaded a video of that, and it is called the hardest part of Royal Marine training. I uploaded it like 2 or 3 days ago. Let me get a shareable link. There's the video. Head over there, watch that, give it a like. Okay, so I'm getting to the end of that now. We've got like 10 minutes left. Yeah, so the channel's changed from what it used to be. Eventually, I will do more fitness stuff, probably in the summer when the semester for school's ended. Excuse me, when I'm only in work and I'll have time in the afternoon to go out for runs. It'll be nice and hot. At the moment, it actually snows in Maine a lot, so we get snowstorms and stuff like that. So there's no chance of going out for a run. The gym. I go to the gym, but like it's hard with the kids. So like like I don't. It's hard. Like when I go to the gym, I have to go there, do my stuff, get out. It's. I haven't got time to set up a camera, video this, video that. So I'm trying to still kind of work out the logistics of trying to film while getting fit. So once I get that done, probably in a month or two, then we'll make some more videos like that. Thanks a lot for answering it. Yeah, no worries. Mike says he's out. All right, I'll see you next time, mate. What's the commando unit like compared to training? I'm going to do a video on that as well. Just stay. I don't know why this keeps going off. It's literally plugged in. How frustrating is that? Um, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna call it a day there, just in case it keeps going out. That's a pain in the butt. I've started to notice now that it has like a little green light when it's talking and it goes out when it runs out. I don't know what's up with this headset. I might have to try and get a mic so I don't have to actually have a headset and speak through the mic instead. If you do like these live streams, these Q&As, do press the like button. Go and press the like button right now. It shows me that you like these videos, and I will definitely do more of them if you enjoy them. I will definitely chat to you guys way more. So, if you do like these videos, do let me know, and I'll invest more time into doing this. And yeah, so I'm gonna call it quits there, just in case the audio goes out again. Again, join the Discord group. It's absolutely fantastic. A bunch of awesome lads there. There's a link right in the chat right there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I have lots of content coming in the future. I'm super hyped to get it out there. So yeah, take it easy, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and don't party too hard. See you, everyone.